Larry, you got to load that one up. Hey, hey.
Oh, got a little wink action there.
Hey, and set. Good! The Warriors in the state final!
Hello everyone and welcome to Milford High School, where tonight ICRC-TV Sports is pleased to present boys varsity OHSAA basketball. Tonight, the Loveland Tigers have made the trip slightly downhill here to Milford to take on the Milford Eagles. It is another Miami Township crosstown shootout. Milford took the first meeting earlier in the year. Hello everyone, Glenn Olson, joined here by Mike Lorienti on Hall of Fame night at Milford High School. Mike, both of these teams have encountered a turbulent stretch lately, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, it is very accurate. One's going, they're both on losing streaks. As you look at the overall record here in the league, Milford has a slight edge, 6 wins against 5 losses. Loveland's 5 and 6. Overall, Loveland has a better record, 10 and 9 versus 8 and 11 for the Eagles. As you talked about, Glenn, this is a crosstown shootout. You throw the records out the window, there's bragging rights. It's going to be a hard-fought game tonight.
Well, the last time we saw these Eagles, we were on the road at Kings High School, a very hard-fought game that Milford was able to emerge victorious from. And to Mike's point, that was their last victory in basketball. So with just 2 regular season games remaining, Milford trying to desperately find some momentum to go into the tournament on. Loveland was able to get a win against Wick Woods, future ECC member next year, but as you said, a long losing streak themselves. So
yeah, both teams have lost 3 games in a row. Again, good opponents. We had a special night here tonight as well. It was Hall of Fame night, so Milford inducted 4 new members to the Milford Athletics Hall of Fame. It's also a Fight Cancer tonight. And I'm sure everybody's been affected by that disease in one way or another. Milford team is wearing T-shirts tonight. I'd like to just read that saying. I think it's very appropriate. It says, every day's not a good day, but there's good in every day. And we're going to find some good during this basketball game tonight, Glenn.
Absolutely. We're just about set for the opening tip. Grant Whitaker will be jumping for the Eagles. For the Loveland Tigers, Alex Soth. We're just about set to get underway here at Milford High School. The referee points one way, then the other, bounces the ball 3 times, up in the air, and we're underway. The opening tip is controlled by the Eagles. Pretty good crowd on hand here tonight, despite the weather in Cincinnati today. I believe both of these districts were out of school due to the weather. Grant Whitaker gets in the scoring column early. It's always tough to get a parking spot when you play the crosstown rival, and then you factor in Hall of Fame night as well, Mike.
Yeah, it was a great suggestion. Glenn got here early, was able to get one of those last spots. And here we go. Whitaker came in tonight. He's averaging almost 9 points a game. He gets the first points for the Eagles on the board. Wow.
3 ball. Jack Lyles. We'll see a lot of those attempts from him tonight.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer for the Eagles through 17 games this season, a little over 10 points a game. Milford up 5.
Milford in that pack line defense we've come to know Joe Cameron for over the years during his very long tenure here at Milford High School. There's a kick outside, 3 ball goes up and a foul. So we're going to send Alex Soth to the line to shoot 3 of them, I believe.
And you see here's that replay in that 3 by Lyles. Really nice, squared himself up to the basket. Good follow through and dropped that 3-pointer.
Foul's called on Jack Lyles, his first, team's first. Great shot at Soth at the free throw line. Hits the first one. It's a little bare on the baseline here. The Milford cheer squad is down in Orlando, Florida, participating in competition this week. So no cheerleaders here on hand, but the dance team is here.
Well, the dance team's here, and the Milford student section is pretty big over there. So It won't be for a lack of, it'll be quite vocal here tonight, Glenn.
This kid's got to get rid of some energy after being cooped up in the house all day somehow, right? Spoken like a true parent.
Yeah, Sloth comes in tonight averaging about 74% from the charity stripe. And right on cue, he knocks them both down.
5-2, Milford out in front early. Just a minute and 15 seconds or so into this contest. Lyles tried the spin move. Yeah, turns the ball over. Comes Loveland the other way. Layup off the glass. Won't go, but rebounded underneath. Now struggle for control, and we're going to get a travel. So a great job that time by Grant Winnegar to go in there and force that situation.
Yeah, here's a replay. I mean, he didn't give up on the ball. They double-teamed number 15, Krabaker, forced the turnover. Here's, you can see right here. Maybe we're not going to see that. We'll maybe catch that a little later.
A little glitch out in the truck, but yeah, Whitaker definitely forced that issue. So
good defense on the Eagles' part.
Milford down at the other end quickly.
There's
deep,
a three.
Yeah, deep three for Joey Round. Milford does not lack for perimeter shooters.
No, we've seen them a couple times. We've seen them this year. If they're able to hit that shot, they can be very dangerous.
Attempt by Loveland's Aaron Krabaker is no good. Rebounded underneath by Milford. Quickly down into their offensive half court. Another three off the mark. Loveland rebound for Colin Hedgepath. Baseline drive goes up. Yeah, blocked. No foul. Loveland could not control the rebound, and another turnover. Milford will come up with it.
Boy, Milford's crashing the board on defense.
Well, Milford is typically a team that's not blessed with a lot of height down in the post position, but no one's ever going to doubt their rebounding efforts. There's a long lob pass, doesn't go.
Air ball.
A nice attempt at a save by Milford with Whitaker on the other end. It won't go. Loveland back down quickly, and a foul. Looks like they're going to get Adam Harris.
Here's a replay here. You see here, nice drive to the basket. Harris gets him on the arm going up, and that's great camera work right underneath the basket, the Loveland basket.
The Hedgepath will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Coach Cameron having some conversation with one of our officials. You can't see that in our shot currently. Official trying to demonstrate to Coach Cameron what exactly happened. Nice free throw put through by Hedgepath.
Hedgepath comes into tonight's game third leading scorer on the Loveland team, averaging almost 9 points, 61% from the charity stripe. That was nice. Nice arc on that ball. You saw nothing but the bottom of the net.
Parker Davis comes in for Milford. Brenton Faust among a couple of Loveland substitutions.
I just cursed him.
Never fails, right?
Never fails.
Okay, approaching the 5-minute mark in the opening quarter. Milford out in front, 8-3. Nearly stripped away, but a nice recovery by Round. Able to go to the glass with it, Mike.
That was like a pass to himself, but good, stayed with it and made a nice, got the pass, laid it up, and they're coming back with the three by Faust.
Now you know why Faust came into the game.
Absolutely, instant offense. He is their second leading scorer.
Three-pointer by Round is off the mark, and a whistle at the other end with a tie-up.
We're going to have a timeout here.
Yeah, Coach Cameron is going to take a timeout. No, it wasn't a tie-up. We had a foul down there.
Yeah, I think we did. Here's a replay on that Loveland three. See Faust coming down. Boy, nice. About a couple feet behind the arc or the line, and drained it.
Nice job by Faust there.
That was very nice.
So that was directed squarely at the flock in case he didn't figure that out. So there was a foul. Unfortunately, because of our vantage point here tonight with the Hall of Fame crowd that was expected, we can't see the scoreboard where they display the total fouls. And then, of course, with the noise in the gymnasium, you can't hear it clearly, especially when you're wearing a headset and we're talking to each other. So we'll get that squared away when Sean Sell brings us our quarterly stats.
Yep, so Loveland's going to take the ball at the far end of the court. Hedgepath bringing it up.
Lots of motion on the floor by the Tigers. Good rotation out. Alex Oates' three-pointer is no good. Milford comes up with it. That's Harris underneath. He'll bring the ball down. Pass down into the corner on the right side. Now they'll go back up top, spin it around the perimeter.
Good ball moving by the Eagles.
Yeah, something that you're always going to get out of a Milford team. Nearly stripped away, though, on the attempt at penetration in the lane, and there it is. Stripped away by Loveland. So one too many passes, perhaps, that time. Did not yield a favorable matchup. Yeah, sure was for Loveland. Shots off the mark, easily rebounded underneath by Davis.
That was a nice no-look pass by Faust.
3:30 to go now in the first quarter. Again, Milford's going to spin it around left to right. Now rotate it back to the right side. Brown thought about penetrating, brings it back out. Trying to find some sliver in there.
Loveland man-to-man defense trying to tie up that, slow down that movement by the Eagles. There's a foul.
A little bit too much contact. Looks like they may get Ian
Number
Cox.
one, yeah.
All right, good eyes, Mike.
Yeah, trip towel, first foul. That is Loveland's first foul tonight. Eagles have 3. It's a little over 3 minutes to go in Q1. Milford up 4.
Couple of substitutions for the Eagles. Milford's finding it pretty tough sledding to find a hole and beat this Loveland defense. And that one, another Loveland foul quickly. So they didn't have any, and all of a sudden they're going to get two in a row.
Yep.
And that's going to be another one on Trip Towel.
Well, he picked up 2.
Baron Krabacher will come back into the game, and Towel will go to the bench with 2 quick fouls.
Well, he might be there a while, Glenn.
Saw a shot of the Loveland bench. Rob Reese is in his 6th year at the helm of the Loveland men's program.
There's a 3.
Three-pointer up top and rattles through. Parker Davis. 13-6. Seen more offense in this one than these teams might have experienced in the first meeting. Mike?
Well, yeah, Glenn. I mean, the first meeting, the score was 33-23, and we're halfway there, almost halfway there in Q1, or period 1.
Ball got away from Davis. He's somehow able to track it down. Baseline drive and a pass. Good ball fake up top. Another fake. Jump stop. Off the glass. Won't go. Rebounded by Loveland. That was Cole Chaney that took the shot for Milford.
Okay, Loveland's not afraid to move that ball down the court real fast. Give Milford credit. They're quick to get back on that defense. Keep Loveland from penetrating, getting those easy baskets.
Gonna see a lot of substitutions off this Milford bench tonight at that kind of pace, I would imagine.
I would imagine so.
Coach Cameron's one to use his bench regardless, but maybe a little more frequently tonight. Now Loveland content to play this, spin it around the perimeter game. Trying to catch Milford in a screen situation. That pack line defense, tough perimeter shooters. That shot's off the mark. Will not fall through for Krabacher, rebounded by Milford. The whole idea of that pack line is to come out and get a hand in the face of the shooter. Milford obviously doing a good job at that thus far. So they lead 13-8 and a travel.
His feet. Just a little quick shuttle step and good call over there by the official on the far side. Even I know Coach Cameron doesn't like it, but there's not a call he likes. Sorry, Joe.
Well, like my son likes to say, the officials may not always be right, but they're never wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, David, had to steal that one from you.
Yeah, he doesn't mind, I'm sure, Glenn.
13-8, approaching 1 minute to play in the opening quarter.
It's been a quick first quarter.
Yeah, well, not a lot of fouls will do that to you. Not a couple turnovers, but not too many. Long ball.
Boom.
Falls through for Sam Cox. His first points of the night. Pulls the Tigers within 11. Or within 2.
Oh, there you go. Back-to-back threes.
Milford's going to answer back with Alex Hanna.
Cox got those, as you mentioned, Glenn, those his first points of the night. He is the leading scorer on the Loveland Tigers team. He comes in averaging out just about 10 points. They're going to need more of that from him.
Setting up for an exciting balance of this game while Loveland's going to try to pass out the remaining 15 seconds of the opening quarter here and play for that ever important last shot. Now they'll dribble it out instead of passing. Nice drive in, around the traffic, but not able to get the drop. So we will step away for a break, but as we step away, you're going to see the last 2 3-pointers where each team answered each other. Rob Reese very animated. So here's the Loveland 3.
And we're going to come back with Whitaker's 3 on the other end of the court.
We'll be back with the second quarter. You're watching ICRC-TV Sports.
Hey, Sean, thanks.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Welcome back to ICRC-TV Sports. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you. Mike, the interesting number on the stats, 6 bench points for Milford, just 3 for the Tigers.
The other interesting point on here is Milford shooting almost 67% from the floor compared to 30% for Loveland. But Loveland's got made 3 foul shots compared to 0 for Milford, which brings us to a 5-point differential heading into the second period.
7-3 rebounding edge for Milford. Commented in the first quarter. Milford very strong on the boards tonight. All 7 of those rebounds coming on the defensive end. So it looks like Milford's in one of those game plans. They'll concede the offensive board to get back on defense. Underway here in the second quarter. Loveland ball with alternating possession and pretty much the way we ended the first quarter.
Yep.
Lots of perimeter passing. Do have a Jack Ackerman sighting.
Yes, his first action tonight. Ackerman's a 6'9" junior. So he's quite a presence there in the middle. Let's see how Coach Cameron uses him.
Well, don't have to worry about him at the moment. No. Sam Cox hits his second 3-pointer of the game. The Tigers are within 2, 7:15 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, we talked about Cox here just a few minutes ago, just before the end of the first period. He is their leading scorer, and they need a lot of points from him, and he answered the bell.
Nice give that time. Alex Hanna pulls up and drains one from inside the arc. 5 points in the game so far for him tonight. Faust thought about it, thought better of it. They'll pass it around a little more. Now they're going to break inside the arc, quickly back out. We're going up against Whitaker. That's a mismatch.
Yeah, it's very much a mismatch.
Or not Whitaker, Ackerman, excuse me. We had so much Whitaker in the first game against Kings a couple of weeks ago. It's still stuck in my head, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He had a heck of a game that game.
There you go. Nice job by Loveland, but not able to convert with Sean McElveen.
Well, we had a good look at that basket. Glenn had just hit off the back of the iron.
Milford back down quickly. Ackerman down in the paint, kicks it out, 3-pointer.
Wow.
Goes up and rattles through for Alex Hanna.
Wow.
His second tray of the game.
Hanna is on fire.
8 points in the game. Milford opens up a 7-point lead as we're under 6 minutes now in the second quarter.
Hanna's feeling it tonight. You know, Glenn, when you got somebody that feels like that, you have to keep feeding them.
Boy, Cox not able to convert that time for the Tigers on the 3. It's off the back iron. Milford down quickly. Nice little move by Round, but they'll continue to pass it around.
He thought about putting that up, pulled it back just at the last second. There's into Ackerman.
Ackerman, cross court, baseline drive and a foul.
You know, Glenn, he's got a good first step there. I'm surprised he's not trying to take it to the hoop a little bit because he's got such a height advantage. Get a little hook or get a little jump. I think he'd have the opportunity to make some baskets down there.
Maybe a confidence issue.
It very possibly could be.
Hasn't played a lot this year.
You're right.
Or maybe specific instructions from the bench.
That's the other thing.
Seen some of that with some taller players.
Yes, we have over the years.
So take up space down in the middle. We'll pass it down to you. If it's there, take it. If it's questionable, kick it back out.
Yep.
Won't mention any names. Great job by Milford up in the tempo this time.
Look.
Yeah, it sure is. And that shot's off the mark. Wide open off the side of the iron. Loveland comes up with it. Faust brings it down quickly. Faust really good at dribbling that ball with defenders on him. That shot won't go for Soth. Rebounded underneath by the Eagles. 4:45 now.
Tell you, Faust is, as you mentioned, Glenn, he's very good with that ball. He's not afraid to put it between the legs and make some moves. Tell you what, there's a nice open three as well.
Yep.
Boom. Yeah.
Britton Faust, his second tray of the game. Now Loveland will take a timeout with 4:30 to go in the second quarter. Let's go back and take a look at our last couple of three-pointers here. Alex Hanna had a good look, pretty squared up to the basket. Getting some props from Joey Round, and then there's the one we just saw with Faust. Another good look at the basket, nothing but nylon, no rattle at all on that
nothing.
one.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that ball rattling around the rim and hoping it falls in. But yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of perimeter shots, not a whole lot going into the middle and trying using some of the size on Ackerman. See what might transpire as this game goes on. It looks like Ackerman's going to stay in the game. You know, just when you think Milford might pull away, Loveland hits a three and you know, boom, 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 and it's pretty competitive. It's still a 4-point game here.
Yeah, right back in it. Ackerman will take a seat during the timeout. Grant Whitaker's back in the game. Alex Hanna's still out there. Cole Chaney, Joey Round.
I don't know if you saw that, Glenn. Coach Cameron came over and gave Ackerman a high five. So whatever he was sending into the Duke, Cameron was very pleased with the end result.
Well, I think they're going to be somewhat content to let Loveland take those threes. Some movement down there. It's going to be, for contact, I should say, Alex Soth, I believe. Nope, they're going to say he stepped on the line. Thought maybe they were going to get Soth for some contact.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bumping down there. Referees are playing it pretty even.
Yeah, just
letting them play, letting them as they should.
Just 6 fouls in the game called so far, 3 apiece on each team. There was a ball off the foot and a tie-up. Joey Round showed nice hustle to get in there and tie it up. Thean Cox.
Let's see here. Nice defense by Round. Tries to go around him, number 33. Cox couldn't do it. We got a jump ball, possession arrows, the Eagles.
Now we got to deal with the moisture on the floor.
What happened to having the little kids down there with those big old mops and mopping the floor?
Maybe need a sponsor for that.
How about Cat? Chick-fil-A maybe?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's a free plug for Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
They're good stewards of the area.
Yeah, they've been very involved here in Milford Athletics for sure.
Yes, they have.
Back down on the other end, approaching the 3:30 mark. Milford passing it around, trying to find a good shot. Maybe trying to find a better shot. Nice job in traffic by Round, but it wouldn't go. Rebounded underneath by the Tigers. They're going to bring it down and force the issue quickly. Now they'll kick it back around. Faust all by himself up top.
Good defense over there on Chaney, on Faust. Didn't want to give him the space.
Yeah, Faust is the one they're definitely trying to get it to.
Yeah, there's a nice move.
Him and Soth. Whoa. No good. Rebounded by the Tigers underneath. Deflected away. Ian Cox could not get his shot to go. Under 3 minutes now. 4-point lead for the Eagles, 21-17.
Well, that first move by Faust, he blew past the defender on the Eagles.
Spin move in traffic and a whistle for Whitaker. Looks like we're going to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
There's a replay on here. You can see Whitaker working real hard, goes up and he gets hit on the arm just as he was going up.
Gave that one to Soft, but maybe just as easily could have been on Cox. So Whitaker will go to the free throw line. Substitution, Trip Toll.
Whitaker's shooting about 50% from the free throw line, so statistics say he's going to make this, Glenn.
There you go.
See how good I am in math? How
There
about
you
that?
are.
How about that?
We'll start coming to you with all of our probability questions.
No,
now.
don't do it, please. Please.
Faust again, deep three, rattles out, rebounded underneath. Shot goes back up, won't go. Tie up underneath.
Boy, good hustle there by number 10, Hedgepath.
Sure was.
He got his own offensive rebound, and he got it, and he fought, who did he fight over there?
Whitaker, wasn't it?
Whitaker, yeah.
Gonna try to go right back inside to him, but the Tigers will kick it back out. 2:30 remaining. Now in quarter number 2. Looked like Hedgepath was trying to set something up there. Didn't quite go.
Milford's going to stay in a man-to-man to try to keep that pressure on the ball, not let Loveland get that space out on that three-point line.
It looks like they're trying to work something inside if the perimeter shot's not there. Trying to feed it underneath Cox.
Yeah.
In contact. Cox will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Yeah, Lyle's got him on the arm.
That'll be Ian Cox. First trip to the free throw line tonight.
Cox is almost automatic from the charity stripe. Glenn's shooting 80%.
Going to get Parker Davis for that foul for Milford.
Still a 4-point game. I'm sorry, a 5-point game.
Chance to make it 3. Cox gets them 1 point closer to that. Yeah, so Davis, is there confusion on the foul?
I think they're confused on maybe who the foul was on.
Yeah, you said Cheney, right?
Yeah, I thought it was on number 2,
Yeah,
Cole
so
Cheney.
Should have been Cole Cheney instead of Davis. So there it is. Okay. I didn't think Davis was in on that foul, but as we said,
No, we got.
may not always be right. They're never wrong.
I think it might be looking at the clock here or something, or the score. Oh, it did not. Okay.
So we're just getting word that the clock did not run during the entire last possession. So second instance of some clock trouble here tonight. Technology's great when it works, right?
Yeah, sure is. Now I can take it down to 143. No arguments from either of the head coaches.
So we've got 22-18 on our end, trying to get it corrected at the scores table.
I see the official over there, colleague of mine, Mike Harbison, does multiple sports. One of the he's a fine basketball umpire or official, but I would tell you he's as good, if not better, as a baseball umpire.
And you and I were commenting before the game how many of these officials are involved in multiple sports now.
Yeah.
And really for their love of the game and almost by necessity because of the shortage in officials. So
yeah, Glenn, I know you and I over the years have talked about it, but it is a very serious problem. I mean, there's sporting events at all levels throughout a lot of the states that go unofficiated because, quite honestly, there's nobody to do the game.
right. I've even seen around the state on Twitter where there's some games been canceled due to lack of officials. So
Right. It's a serious problem, and you know, some of we got to get they got to infiltrate. We got to get some younger people in there to get involved. You can make a few. I mean, if you want to look at it from a money standpoint or giving back to the community, but you can. They pay well. It's a good paying, and you're doing a service to your community.
So we have 22-17 on the scoreboard now. Our producer and director in the truck seem to, or are confident it's 22-18, so we'll see what gets sorted out. There you see athletic director Aaron Zupka. Talking to the scoreboard operators down at the
There it is.
scores table.
18 came up.
So yeah, 22-18 now.
You know, it's like anything else when in sports, the home team keeps the book, right?
Yep.
So all else fails, you defer back to the home team and what their book says. So regardless, they got it right. And back to 146 on the clock. We were at 143, went up to 146.
Maybe one of the longest pauses ever between free throws for Ian Cox. It looks like they forgot how many were left to shoot.
Cox is up there. No, I got 2 left. I got 2 left.
You can see Joe Cameron get redder than a chair. One of those chairs down there. Get away with that one.
Good job, young Mr. Cox. That delay did not affect him one bit.
3-point game, 22.
Got a little full court pressure on the Eagles, or on the Tigers.
Milford breaks it with a long pass over the top. They had Alex Hanna down at the other end, so good strategy by the Tigers, but broken pretty easily by Milford in that attempt. See if the Tigers hang with it. 1:30 to go now. 3-pointer from the right side for Parker Davis.
Boy, he's another one.
His second tray.
I mean, he only averages about 4 points a game, and you said he's up to 6 already, huh, Glenn?
Yep, both threes.
So he's, he's through 18 games, averaging 3.5 points. So good job on his part. His per game average will go up a little bit.
There you go. Enjoyed watching him play at the JV level last year, so pretty neat to see him contributing up here this year, the varsity level.
Oh, got away with one, I think.
Sure did.
Got tipped.
Yeah, Faust put one up and deflected away by the fingertips. Just enough to alter the flight of the ball, so Milford will now have a chance to try to dribble out the last 40 seconds or so of the first half. And that looks to be the case.
Yeah, I would think so.
What they wanted to do.
And Glenn, we look at fouls are not going to come into play because each team only has 4 fouls. So it's not like you're going to be able to, slow the game down because of that. Milford's going to hold it.
Yep, no shot clock in the high school game, of course, so it's perfectly legal. See what they
surprised. I was going to say, I'm surprised Loveland doesn't foul him.
Yep, and Brenton Faust will come out and do just that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. Not give Milford the opportunity to get a shot off.
Does get to be a little bit frustrating. We did a girls game a couple weeks ago where a team dribbled for about a minute and 30 seconds.
Really?
Oh yeah, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Contact there in front of the Loveland bench will be a foul.
It's only 7.3 seconds to go, so the strategy's working for Loveland. Loveland almost stole that ball there on that inbound.
Yeah, Ian Cox picks up foul for Loveland, so now they
are
foul at 6. Well, it's going to be 7 if you do. Oh my Lord! Nice work.
Oh, that's
Joey Round.
Oh, the head coach from Loveland. I'm sorry, what's his name, Glenn?
Rob Reese.
Rob Reese is disgusted. He's just over there shaking his head that he allowed that layup there right here. You can see it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just some highlights from the first half. But he's disgusted that they just allowed him to go in there and do that layup.
So a little bit of a defensive breakdown with just 10 seconds to go for the Tigers. Your halftime score, Milford Eagles 27, Loveland Tigers 19. Glenn Olson and Mike Orienti. We're going to step away for the halftime break. We'll be back with the third quarter. You're watching ICRC-TV Sports.
Hi, I'm Nick Foligno of the Columbus Blue Jackets. From the youth leagues all the way up to the NHL, sportsmanship is one thing that we can all have in common. The thrill of competing is great, but how we compete is important. Sports can teach kids so many more lessons than just winning and losing, and we can all make this experience a positive one that builds character and makes memories that last a lifetime. In the stands and on the ice, we can all do our part to make this a great event. Together, let's all respect the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Hey!
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go!
What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
We save homes and restore pride. We are people working cooperatively. Our typical client earns less than $14,000 annually and cannot afford the critical repairs they need to safely live at home, where they desperately want to be. Our services truly change lives, one repair at a time. Our professionally trained staff, along with 25,000 volunteer hours annually, has provided more than 280,000 services for low-income, elderly, and disabled homeowners in our communities. Every service makes an impact. Homes we service have an increased sales price of 10%, and even the value of surrounding homes increase upwards of 3%. Our energy conservation services save clients an average of $300 a year, These total savings from all customers equals over $200,000 in outstanding energy bills paid. With safer living environments, almost 50% of our clients reported improved health, and many are seeking medical attention less frequently. By living healthy at home, over $54,000 in state and federal funds can be saved annually for each client that does not need to move to assisted living. PwC's impact is more than just dollars and cents. Stable homes create stable families, which means children who are moving less frequently can achieve higher academic success. We are an investment in the future. More people living safely in their own home paints a brighter future for everyone, but we can't do it alone. We need your help to continue to build a brighter future for the entire community. Give back and get involved at pwchomrepairs.org.
How will 2020 census data be used? Where there are more people, there are more needs for public services. That's why the census is used by the government to inform funding decisions each year. But that's not all. It's also used by nonprofits to inform services, by businesses to create jobs, and even by students for school projects. Understanding how the population changes helps us shape communities across the country for the better. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Why should I care about the 2020 census?
Every 10 years, the census counts everyone living in the U.S.
Count everyone living with you.
Even kids!
Our numbers help shape funding and services.
For all these things.
That's a lot of stuff.
Your responses are safe and secure.
No matter who you are or where you're from.
We have reasons to care.
Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Hi, welcome back to Milford High School for ICRC-TV sports coverage of boys varsity basketball. Milford Eagles taking on the Loveland Tigers. I don't think either team would appreciate the gender misidentification. My apologies. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you. It's 27-19 as we prepare for the second half. Mike, some interesting tidbits on the stat sheet.
Yeah, they are, Glenn. We talked about it earlier. I mean, if you look, it's a tale of two halves. Two periods. Milford won the first period by 5 and the second period by 3, put them up by 8. But if you look at overall, Milford shooting 63 from the field compared to 25 for the game for Loveland. Loveland's making it up on the three-point and the free throws as well. So it's an interesting game. We talked about the first time, I think it was 33-23 or whatever it was.
33-23.
We're almost there already through the first half. So a much bigger offensive performance by both teams.
Both teams shooting the perimeter shot well. And Milford's going to get right back to it there with Jack Wiles. Wiles now with 6 points in the game. So Milford will move to 7-11 from behind the arc. Loveland 4 of 10.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how well both teams are shooting.
Start dialing in that shot, getting ready for the tournament.
Well, yeah, and there's no underneath. There's no middle of in the key. There's no what's the word I'm looking for, Glenn? There's no interior game tonight.
Right. Cole Cheney picks up foul number 2. As you see there on your replay, it's going to send Ian Cox to the free throw line, his second trip of the night.
I mean, you can talk about shooting from the perimeter all day, but you're going to need an inside game.
Yeah.
For either of the teams are going to need inside game to go to do anything in the tournament. And as you said, I think the draws are, what, tonight or tomorrow when they'll be announced
This
on
weekend,
Sunday?
though, brackets will come out on Sunday, yeah. Not sure online voting ends tonight or tomorrow, but
okay.
Coaches will have their meeting and seed them up, and brackets will be released sometime Sunday evening. Milford typically is played either at Hamilton High School or one of the Lakota schools.
Both teams only have, after tonight, I think it's 2 or 3 games left in the season.
Yeah, just 2 for Milford, and both tough ones. Walnut Hills and against Turpin. And coincidentally, as we broadcast this, for those of you turning in live, Walnut Hills leading Turpin by about 8.
Wow.
Last word I saw.
Yeah.
Turpin just 1 conference loss on the year, so that could be an interesting development. Forcing the issue, Grant Whitaker, and he'll get the and 1. Really have to love the aggressiveness out of Grant Whitaker, as you're going to see on this replay here. Just going to step down, try to split those defenders. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, no, and he's a big kid. He's got some nice guns over there on those arms, and he had to use every bit of that to go up against in the middle because he got whacked. But unfortunately, he missed his foul shot.
The Eagles' lead has grown to 12, approaching the first 90 seconds elapsing in this third quarter. Loveland shooting continues to be cold, easily rebounded by Milford. Back down into their offensive half court. Joey Round.
Yeah, there's timeout. I could see the head coach of Loveland over there. Unfortunately for Loveland, Glenn, how Milford ended the second period is carried over into third period. Loveland looks a little bit lethargic.
Yeah, Milford was settling back into that three-point shooting mode, and now all of a sudden they found a little bit of game in the post, and Loveland has not responded well in the last couple of possessions, for sure.
I would imagine there was a little bit of discussion going on during that halftime in the Loveland side of the locker room over there. Coach Reese is not happy.
Saw some earlier action from Parker Davis in front of the Loveland bench. Rob Reese looking for some clarity from the officials. Good angle into the Milford huddle.
Yeah, Milford out to its largest lead, 14 points. Glenn, Loveland's got to be careful. By no means is this game over, but it's trending where Milford's could continue to grow on this lead if Loveland doesn't answer here right now.
Loveland is not led in this game. 11 seconds of the game, we were tied. Other than that, Milford has led the entirety of it. 6:16 remaining in the third quarter. Sometimes our camera on the scoreboard doesn't like these new video boards here. They're great for the fans, but we give our technology fits, so we'll try to keep you updated on the time remaining. Three-pointer for Cox.
Just what the doctor ordered for Loveland. Come out of that timeout, Cox gives him another 3.
Cox having himself a nice game thus far with 8 points, just about a third of Loveland's points altogether. Cuts the lead back down to 11. Now Milford's going to go back out to the perimeter. High arcing shot for Adam Harris. Bangs off the front of the iron, rebounded by Loveland. They're down quickly. It's a feed inside. Good job of getting through those defenders and getting the bucket for Soth.
Now that might be the first basket we've seen inside tonight.
It's Soth's first field goal. Both of his points have come on free throws prior to that.
Right.
So there again, you see Milford back in that low post position, a baseline drive for Joey Round. He has 11 now. So Joey Round setting himself up for a nice game, but a good answer by Loveland on the other end.
It's a track meet all of a sudden, Glenn.
Hedgepath with the 3, 36-27.
Round has already exceeded his per game average of 9 points just halfway through the third period.
Joey Round lets one fly. Boy, just keep putting the ball in his hands.
Yep.
He's in the zone right now. Nice kick out. Cox for 3. Bounces off, no good. Rebounded by Milford. Joey Round brings it down.
I'm just going to look here, see about defensive rebounds, because, you know, it looks lately it's been one shot by the team on offense, and then defensive rebound and go back down to the other end.
Up, that one got away from Round. He slips, turnover. Loveland back down quickly. 3 ball goes up off the back iron, no good. Round eventually tracks it down for the Eagles. Under 4 minutes now. Nice move by Cole Cheney.
As we look at those defensive rebounds, Glenn, through the first half, Milford had 12 and Loveland had 5.
Krabacher picks up foul number 2. Back and take a look at some of the last plays here. There's that drive along the baseline for Lyles. Free throw will not go. So some yips at the free throw line tonight for the Eagles.
And there's that 3 right there by Round. Got some substitutions. Whitaker getting a much needed breather. As you mentioned, Glenn, Coach Cameron definitely uses his bench. He goes 8 or 9 deep on that, maybe sometimes 10.
Now Loveland will answer with substitution as well. Trip Toll's going to check back into the game. Or Towel, excuse me. That's how the PA announcer was pronouncing it. 39-27, under 3:50 now in the third quarter. Faust came in during that timeout. Expect to see a lot of perimeter shots coming up for him, provided the Tigers can set up the mismatch for him. Let's get him a clean look at the basket.
Well, Cheney's not going to let him have that. He's going to play him pretty tight.
Well, you know he's a shooter. We've seen it.
Nice ball, nice handle that ball over there by number 10, Hedgepath.
This is great for Loveland. The downside is you're down by 12.
Right.
You got to score some points. You can't have 60 and 90 second possessions, right?
Yeah.
We may have another scoring issue on our hands. Dean Lowry, our eagle-eyed graphics operator in the truck, thinks we're at 40-27, but the scores table may have missed a free throw. We'll see if anybody notices. But officially here in the gym, 39-27, three-pointer. High shot for Alex Hanna. That's his third 3-ball of the game. 42-27.
We got a timeout. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Foul. A foul?
Let's see if we get the score squared away.
And here's a look at that 3 right here. Maybe not.
Trip Towel picked up foul number 3 there before the whistle.
Well, he picked up 2 in that real quick fouls there in that first period. All right, here's that 3. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first period. He's been, pretty quiet since.
There's Hanna.
Wow.
Hanna with another one.
He's feeling it.
14 points, 12 of them beyond the arc.
Hanna's a 6'4", 205 junior. He's having a career game tonight.
Under 2:15 now in the third quarter. The lead is up to 18. Now the truck matches the scoreboard. Whistle at the other end.
Hanna's got 14 points so far tonight.
Yeah, just heck of a game for him, to say the least.
But they got it corrected on the scoreboard.
Well, I think the truck corrected theirs. They're going to go with what scoreboard says, but entirely sure it's correct. See what Chancel has to say.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll get the third period statistics here in a second.
Thanks as always to Chancel, the Milford Sports Information Director. Does a great job of taking care of us out here.
Nice anticipation.
Yep. Sometimes you telegraph that pass just like in football, and Faust makes them pay with his first 2-pointer of the night.
Loveland's going to press Milford, try to create some more turnovers.
Yep, trying to set up a couple of those trapping situations as well. Sometimes it's been an issue for Milford not being able to break through the press well. Loveland's going to continue with the trapping. Downside of that, of course, is somebody's going to be left unguarded, and there's a pretty clean shot for Ethan Owens. He'll find his way into the scorebook with his first points of the night.
Well, this is a significantly higher scoring game than the first one.
No doubt.
The percentages by both teams are really, really good.
Guessing we might have had some stall ball in that game if I had to look without diving into the stats on the ECC website. I think the strategy may have been just to limit Milford from shooting. Loveland may have had a cold shooting night. That one won't go for McElveen. Milford back down quickly. 45 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Foul.
And some trouble in the paint. They're going to get Ian Cox. Attempted a jump stop by Round.
We can see here, Round dribbles. Looks like Cox got him with the hand on as he's going up. Good call there by the official.
His second, the team's fourth. Joey Round will make his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, young Mr. Round is an 80% free throw shooter.
He's done it all three ways now. Twos, threes, and now the singles. Some adjustments going out on the floor for the Eagles. Provided Loveland ends up on defense. Second free throw won't go. It's rebounded by Faust. Loveland trailing by good number here, 19 points under 30 seconds to go.
Largest lead of the night for the Eagles. And there's a foul. It's a push. Looks like that might be on 11.
Be my guess.
22. Parker Davis. Here's that foul. You see Mr. Davis, he just pushes off. That was an easy call by the official. It's going to put Soth on the line.
Yep, he's 2 of 3 in his first go round. He makes the front end of 2 here. So we don't have the luxury of being able to rely on video replay for official purposes, but our guys in the truck say the scoreboard's off by a point, that Milford should be up 50-30. Well, 49-30, excuse me, the scoreboard shows 48. Those old eyes getting in the way again.
I'll tell you, Glenn, gonna get you some cheaters.
How could I help on the distance?
Oh, well. Then I'll let you use my bifocals.
There you go. We can have an extended conversation about that later. Some of us had our eyes fixed and didn't get the results. Anyway.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
You're one of those percentages, huh?
Yeah, very micro percentage. Long 3 ball for Davis. Off the mark at the quarter. So you can't blame him. He had to get it up quickly.
Yeah, that was an NBA 3.
So Milford with 21 points in that quarter, just 12 for the Tigers. So, boy, Milford starts to force things down low a little bit, and they've grown the lead. Take a look at our cable TV replay schedule for our Spectrum and Fioptics customers. Of course, if you're watching this game live, you know you can find this game and all of our content at our website, ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. Lots of hoop action left the next week or two of the regular season here. The girls'
Sean. Thank you,
draw has been completed. Brackets are posted online. They'll be starting tournament play shortly. So the official stats have it 48-31 as well. So the mystery continues.
Well, at this point in time, we're just going to be quiet. We don't need a long drawn timeout for 1 point.
No, not at a 17-point lead, right?
Right. So as we look at the scoreboard, leading scorer for the Eagles, no surprise, is Hannah with 14, followed by Round with 12. On the visiting Tigers, leading scorer is Ian Cox with 33, as well as Ian Cox with 8, Faust with 8, followed closely by Sam Cox and Alex Loftus with 6 each. Milford up, we're just going to go with this, it's 48-31.
Yeah, we'll go with what they say officially.
And we're just beginning the fourth period.
A couple of interesting stats. Milford with a 7-3 rebounding edge in the third quarter. And 22 bench points in the game now for the Eagles, just 8
for the Tigers.
Well, that's that deep bench that Cameron employs. And he's got some people on there that can put the ball in the hoop. Ah, nice by Cox.
Yeah, Towles 3 won't go, but Loveland gets it right back and a floater for Faust. 10 points in the game now for Faust.
Yeah, they're going to stay on that press defense. They just created a turnover, and they're going to see if they can do it again. They got some pressure. Oh, nice breaking the press.
Yeah, that trap. And it's coming back to bite them. Milford very nearly makes the pay now. His wild shot rimmed out. Lead holds at 15 officially. First 45 seconds.
And one.
Yep, and one at the other end. Dean Cox will make his third trip to the free throw line tonight, where he's 3 of 4.
There's a replay.
Lyles picks up foul number 3, as you're going to see here. Swatting at the ball. Lyles didn't think he had contact.
You know, Milford doesn't want to give Loveland any hope of being able to reel off 6 or 8 points to get back into this game. Because, you know, as you know, Glenn, momentum goes a long way. You start feeling confident about this, all of a sudden the tide turns, and all of a sudden you got a 4-6 point game.
Free throw would not go. 48-35 as we get to 7 minutes.
Turnover.
Yeah, Loveland forced that one. Milford nearly got through it, but it was an errant pass. So now Milford will try to speed things up a little bit. And nice gesture of sportsmanship there.
For a minute there, I thought Lyles might have turned his ankle on that one.
Did not look good. Take a look at it on the replay here, and it's one of those flat tire kind of deals where the feet got tangled up.
Just got tangled up. It's a good thing he didn't get hurt.
See a lot of that, unfortunately. Ankles can be very unforgiving. And look at that, almost a triple team, and then Loveland's going to be called for a reach.
Expect that foul's on
Sam Cox picks up his second foul. 13-point lead, 6:43 to go in regulation.
Milford's going to try and maybe use a little bit of clock here.
Sorry, 7-point lead.
They might try to use a little bit of clock here going.
It may be wise to do so. Three-pointer.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not when you got Hannah shooting threes.
Yeah, effortless for Hannah. And a whistle on the other end. It's going to be a foul on Alex Hannah, I believe.
Yeah, there's a 3-play on Hannah. He just, again, toe was touching the line a little bit on that one. Nevertheless, 3-point, another 3-point for young Mr. Hannah.
It's the 4th team foul for Milford, and the Eagles will take a 30-second timeout. It's 51-35, 6:25 remaining in regulation. Loveland had a nice little spurt there, but then Milford able to open it right back up, Mike.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and the confidence that Loveland had going into that got squelched when young Mr. Hannah came down here and hit that 3 to extend that lead back out to 16 points. I mean, the next couple minutes are going to be critical for Loveland. They can't trade baskets because obviously that gets you nowhere. They're going to have to continue with that full court press, try to create some turnovers. They've got 6 fouls, only to 4 to Milford. So at some point in time, the fouls are going to come into play, and this will become a foul shooting contest.
Loveland with the ball after the timeout. Trying to get Faust in the middle. Passing lane was denied. Milford's going to come out and try to tap it away a little bit. Not going to give them free reign out on the perimeter.
Clock is continuing to run. They're using a lot of time on this possession.
Mike, goes back to what we said a couple possessions ago. You can't have 60 and 90-second possessions when you're down double digits.
Right. Good defense on Milford's part, making them use the clock.
Milford, has been able to match speed for speed with Loveland, especially on the press, right?
Yeah.
So really, neither team has a height advantage or a speed advantage. It's easily ascertainable here in this contest tonight. There comes the trap again.
Yeah, they're trying to trap.
So we know what Loveland's going to do. Milford's ready for it, keeping some folks back to help. 3 ball won't go for Hannah. One of his rare misses tonight. Ball gets deflected away, but nice give. Oh! And Jack Lyles with the block from behind.
The place erupted. He came from behind, as you mentioned, Glenn, to block that easy layup.
Mark that one as a play in the season. Great effort by
Here's a
Jack
replay.
Lyles.
Here's a replay. Give Lyles credit. He never gave up on that, and he got nothing but leather.
You see everybody's mouth open on that. Everybody yelled, oh.
Yeah.
51-35, approaching 5:15. Period number 4, three-pointer for the Tigers, air ball. Rebounded by Whitaker. Milford breaks through, not much of an attempt at a press by the Tigers. Now they'll try to trap. Milford up.
Oh, nice defense.
Yeah, it's stolen away from behind, tipped by Faust. Quickly down at the other end, and a great move into paint.
Got timeout, Loveland.
12 points in the game for Faust.
16-point lead still. And Glenn, you know, we sound like a broken record, but Loveland's going to have to, they're going to have to put up shots. They got to put up more shots than Milford, and they got to hopefully make more. Because Milford's going to come down here and try to use as much of that clock as they can.
Right.
To try to shorten the game.
Exactly. And, you know, for Loveland, the up-tempo game is not their forte, obviously. They much rather would play at a more patient pace, but the seconds continue to tick away here. We're at 4:52 remaining in regulation, and the Tigers are staring down a 14-point deficit. Definitely not insurmountable, but you almost have to be perfect on both ends, not let Milford score and take advantage of second chance opportunities, which really hasn't been a strong suit for either team tonight. Just 2 second-point chances for each team coming into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. At least 2-3 periods, they were actually, Loveland was actually shooting better from three-point range than they were from two-point range. So my guess is you're going to see a lot more threes going up here to try to narrow reduce the gap.
Milford being very patient, working through the press and the traps. And there's Whitaker, came in from the left side, made the Tigers pay for their defensive strategy. 16-point lead, under 4:30 to go in regulation. Again, Loveland with a very patient, deliberate pace. Will Faust force the issue, perhaps? Not this go-round.
You know, Glenn, we'll talk about tournament action here a couple weeks away. Milford could give some teams some trouble with their deep bench.
Right.
And the fact that they hustle, and for the lack of size, you know, they're crashing the board, so they're not going to be an easy out, nor will Loveland, but I think Milford goes a little deeper on their bench and has got a little bit more size than what we've seen out of Loveland tonight.
Well, for Milford, it's really a product of whether they're in the zone on the perimeter shooting or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cole Chaney picks up another one for Milford. Long three-pointer in and out, just brutal for Tao. Did everything right, but couldn't get the final bounce through the iron.
There's a turnover.
Yeah. Press.
Ill-advised pass.
Press work there
Give
for
it
Milford,
right back.
but yeah, exactly.
Right back.
We're going to have substitution. Ethan Owens coming in.
We haven't seen Ackerman in since he had that 4 or 5 minutes there in the first half.
Right.
I would thought maybe this might be a time for Coach Cameron the next couple games to get him some more playing time to build, as you talked about, build that confidence up going into the tournament, because chances are you're going to see some bigger teams.
Yep.
Size-wise.
Jack Lyles went to the bench for Milford during that dead ball. Whitaker almost lets one get away. It's picked up by Chaney, who goes over to Joey Round, and imagine that, 2 more points for Joey Round in this contest. 18-point lead again for Milford, 55-37, under 3:20. Three-pointer from the right side.
Loveland's gone ice cold, Glenn.
Yeah, Hedgepath rebounded, but foul on the other end. Yeah, they definitely
can't buy a basket.
Basketball's a funny game. You have a brief intermission, and it's like you've never shot the ball before.
Yeah. And I hate to go back. I really go back to that layup there right at the end of the second period that, gave Milford just a little bit more of what's the word I'm looking for?
Momentum?
Momentum. And it doesn't seem like Loveland was able to ever answer that. You know, they don't make that. It's a much, you know, only 2 points, but it's momentum and it's.
It's going to send Brenton Faust to the free throw line. I believe that foul was on.
I couldn't
Cheney?
see it, Glenn. I wasn't able to see it.
No, Cheney's coming back into the game. So imagine that. Well, no, Cheney's out. That's right. Those Davis just checked in. So yeah, 4 on Cheney now.
Yeah, you can see here, we haven't seen one of those by Loveland in a while. You see the replay there, a couple 3-point plays, but they've gone ice cold since halfway through this third period.
Milford ball now, 3:07, 55-39. Loveland continues to try to press. They force another turnover there. Can they convert? Nice pass in the air and a good cleanup by Ian Cox underneath. Timeout Loveland.
Coach Cameron is not happy with that last series. You see Cox just getting the ball in the paint, works it up off the glass and in. 14-point lead. I think that's a full timeout on Milford's part. You can see there into the Loveland bench, Coach Reese trying to get his team motivated. Oh, that's cute.
Flock's on their game tonight, aren't they?
Can't spell Loveland without an L.
Can't spell Milford without it either, but just
that's true. That's true. But we're at
splitting
Milford.
hairs at that point.
We're at
right?
Milford, so they're gonna use that to their advantage.
Sports Center theme for the Flock tonight. A lot of different college jerseys being worn and college colors over there.
Yeah.
Some look okay, some I'm not so sure about.
Right. Speaking of the Flock, Glenn, this is the first time I've been in here since they painted and redid the gymnasium, and I tell you, it looks really, really nice. Brighten it up, and it's got a new banner down there. Oh yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
You got a new banner down there. Place looks really nice.
See, Josh,
I saw that.
Josh
I saw that.
my point.
There's the L.
Well, Forest Park education paid off. 55-41, 2:52 remaining. Should have blamed that on Bowling Green instead of Forest Park.
Yeah.
High school doesn't exist anymore.
Forest Park High School doesn't exist?
No. Wooden Woods. They combined in 92
Oh, okay.
with Green Hills. The actual physical structure, this is the last year in that school. New building being built as we speak.
Oh, okay. Another turnover.
Football stadium will remain. The athletic facilities outside of the indoor sports, basketball and volleyball.
Coach Cameron is just, he's beside himself. Another turnover.
Yeah, see, that's Milford is struggling with the press here in the last couple minutes of this game. You know, they handled it pretty early on, but as Loveland has upped the intensity, the Eagles have struggled with it.
It's only a 12-point game, almost 2.5 minutes left to go. Milford doesn't tighten things up. All of a sudden, you know, Loveland's they're gonna feel a little more confident here.
Well, chance to make it 10 here if Cox converts.
And he does.
First one. See what happens on the follow. Back into the game, Cole Cheney will take the place of Alex Hanna. I'm guessing Alex Hanna will get a chance to
think about that last series.
Yeah, well, get a drink of water and catch his breath and probably go back in. Cox can't get the back end. Rebounded by Milford. And now, yeah, you can't wait. You know the press is coming.
Right.
Milford gets through, almost gets through it okay. And
there's a
Coach
foul.
Cameron wants a foul.
He got it. Foul's on number 10.
Hedgepath.
7th foul. Put Milford in the 1-on-1. Cheney on the line.
It's 1 of 2 on his attempts tonight. Into the game, Aaron Krabacher for the Tigers.
56% free throw shooter.
Well, as we talked about, Milford really needs this win. They've dropped 4 straight since defeating Kings, a game you saw here on ICRC a couple weeks ago.
Had a lane violation there on the Eagles.
It's not going to help your cause. Whitaker's going to come back into the game, take the place of Cheney. You can see the lane violation on the replay.
I see somebody over there, one of the students over there with a Hawaii jersey on.
Wishful think.
That's a long way. I have a friend of mine whose daughter actually is a cheerleader at the University of Hawaii.
Not a bad gig, huh?
No, it's not a bad gig. She went over there on a scholarship, and I saw him the other day, and he says she loves it. What's not to love about going to college in Hawaii?
A long way from home, isn't it?
It is a long way.
You don't get homesick, but short of that, yeah. I'll tell you, it beats Northwest Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I would
especially this time of year.
Right. His wife actually works for the airline, so
there you go.
They can get her back and forth. At a much more economical way than you or I would have the opportunity.
Get that right. So Tal and Cox going to check back into the game for Loveland. So I think we're at that juncture where we're going to see a lot of substitutions for offense and defense. The lead is down to 11. It's been as much as 18 for Milford. I don't think it ever got to 20, did it? Nice job by Whitaker underneath to save that and kick it back out.
There's a foul.
Yeah, Cox is going to foul. I believe that's 3 on him.
Yeah, it's going to turn into free throw shooting right now. Got a couple substitutions for Loveland. Soft is coming in, and it's at number 15. Krabenbacher.
Jack Lyles will go to the free throw line for the 1-and-1.
We're going to probably do offense for defense now.
Yeah. First one is good. He'll get the bonus. Marked the wrong one there.
Nobody's going to hold it against you, Glenn. Nobody would even know.
I know. That old stream of consciousness thing, right?
There you go.
Lyles nails both of them. 57-44, 140. Loveland cannot answer. Whitaker, rebound. Loveland trying to foul. Milford breaks through the press. Another trap perhaps coming. They do break through it. Lyles went to the hole hard, and Whitaker was there to clean it up.
Good offensive rebound and put back in for Whitaker.
Under 120 remaining in regulation now. The lead is back to 15. 59-44, and a foul on the other end.
Yeah, that foul's going to be on number 5.
Then Owens?
Owens, I think, maybe, yeah.
Number 2 on him.
Both teams in the bonus. Here's a replay. Little reach-in foul there.
Hitchpath will go to the free throw line for the second time tonight. Tal and Sam Cox check into the game for Loveland.
There's that defense. So they can press the ball.
All right. Milford handled it a little bit better this last time.
Yeah, they have.
Hitchpath makes first free throw, number 2 on the way. Cuts the deficit down to 14. Plenty of time left. Got to be smart with the basketball and smart with your shots if you're Loveland and want to try to get close.
Yeah.
Milford again goes up top to get through the press, round to the hole hard, and a whistle underneath.
I'm not sure Coach Cameron wanted him taking it. I think he would like to have him kick that out a little bit, take some more time.
Yeah. So Tal picks up foul number 4.
He had Owens trailing. He could have just bounced that ball right to Owens, and they could have taken some more time off the clock. But nevertheless, he's on the charity strike.
Brown with a great game so far. 17 points, make it 18, unofficially.
Just when Loveland made their push, and we know they would, Glenn, Milford was able to answer it and push that lead out to 14, potentially 15. And the clock is now a real problem for Loveland. It's going to be very, very difficult.
Well, there's a bright spot for the Tigers. They've doubled their offensive output at the last meeting. Just 23 points, as we've talked about a couple times.
Yeah, 33, 23.
Fortunately, they gave up a lot more defensively.
Yeah, no quit in either one of these teams tonight. As we talked about in the opening, a lot of these kids, I'm sure, played against each other, and maybe even some of them played on some of the rec teams together. So there's a little bit of bragging rights between all the sports, whether it's boys or girls sports. There's a lot of this crosstown rivalry between Loveland and Milford is legitimate. We've done some of the football games before, and they're very highly competitive as well.
Seen some exciting finishes over the years. That last foul was on Krabacher. Milford able to extend the lead at the free throw line. Hedgepath adds 2 more points to his resume for the night, but at 15 points, it may be too little, too late. Round almost dribbled it off his foot, able to hang in there. Now we're going to get a contact foul on Krabacher. Going to send Round back to the free throw line.
You know, I always wonder in these kind of situations, Glenn, when the outcome is inevitable, you know, why you have these silly fouls with 20 seconds to go, other than people just padding their totals from the night. Just let the clock run.
Well, I guess it's just the never quit mentality.
I understand that. I get that part.
That's the only reasoning really that rationally comes to mind. But yeah, you're right. When you don't think they're going to come back from a 16-point deficit with 37 seconds left.
Right.
Unless the referees decide to call every foul on the floor.
Well, you have to vision at this point in time, unless it's really, really obvious, they're going to let it run its out.
Round with a rare miss. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay.
Jump stop, shot won't go, rebounded by Round. Loveland continuing to try to press, and now they'll pull off the Dogs a little bit, perhaps, maybe not. Round dribbled over near the scorer's table, is able to get through it. Now we'll get a couple passes.
Looks like that might be it, huh, Glenn?
Yep, looks like Loveland's definitely backing off on the intensity now. They'll take whatever they can get, but we're at 5 seconds. Round with the ball over in front of the bench, and that will do it. Your final score, Milford 64, Loveland 48. Milford, after 4 straight losses, gets back on the winning track, and we'll, toot our own horn. It's our first win since we last covered them. So
maybe with their good luck charm.
Maybe they ought to bring us along to
I don't know.
The end of the ride.
They should probably do that. They might want to feed us a little bit too, you know what I mean? Just kidding.
Any closing thoughts before we call it a night?
Yeah, Glenn, we talked about, heading into the tournament, and I think it was really good job tonight by the Eagles. Well balanced. They spread the offense around to a lot of players. Loveland lives and dies on the perimeter, and that's second half it just didn't work for them. It didn't work.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in to our contest for our executive producer Jason Dudley, the dynamic duo in the truck, Josh Simstrot and Dean Lowry, as well as our crew and my partner Mike Lorienti. I'm Glenn Olson. You've been watching ICRC-TV Sports.
Good night.